So look, I've been running Facebook ads for over 7 years, and to this day, I still run image ads in almost all of my ad accounts. And that's because it makes me well over $10,000 per day across all the accounts that I'm managing, including this account where you can see we did an 8.7 ROAS, generated $77,000 in the last 30 days, where we generated $113,000 at a 1.06 ROAS for software, or this where we generated a 14 ROAS at a 2.81 ROAS, or this where we generate 61 at a 4.49. So all of these accounts, the same thing they have in common is they're predominantly using image ads to get these results. So you might be tempted to think UGC is the next thing, or video ads, that's all that really matters, or even like AI generated ads, which I'm gonna make a video on, but all of that is a lot better than image ads. And I still argue that image ads is the best way to get started with Facebook ads today because of how fast you can test and the options that you have when it comes to creating various different ads that really get attention, and split testing different hooks and different audiences that you can target with those different images. And honestly, in a day and age where everybody's focused on UGC and video ads and this hook and that whole strategy and this different UGC format that gets a 10% better hook rate, right? All of that is super complicated. When, if you boil it down, if you just work on creating ads that speak to your ideal customer in a way that gets their attention and interest in wanting to click, then you can have success. That doesn't matter if it's an image, doesn't matter if it's a video. If you can convey your product in the shortest amount of the time possible and get that ideal customer to then stop, learn about your product, and then click your ad, that is the goal. The goal of your ad is to sell the click, not sell the product. Your landing page can do the rest of that. So image ads work great because you can really stop people from scrolling, get them interested and into clicking. And Facebook's going to really prioritize that because it sees people are having a good experience, are interested, commenting, engaging, and they're clicking over, right? And so there's several ways to do that. I'm going to show you exactly how to create image ads that get results like I just showed you. So let's start out in here. This is a tool, CreativeOS. I'm not affiliated with CreativeOS at all. I just really like this tool and we use this all the time. So you can check out CreativeOS, just search creativeos.com. It's going to bring you to a page that looks like this: fuel your brand with ready to launch creative templates. It's essentially a huge document with a bunch of templates. It's the easiest way for me to explain and also show you how to create image ads. So just going to use this. This is what we use. It's the best. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's a great tool. Again, not affiliated with them, so I have no links for you. But this is all the different types of templates that you can use, and there's a ton here. Right, so you have different types of niches, you have different types of advertisements themselves in terms of how they are designed and formatted. And so this really gives you everything that you could want from image ads, all proven by some of the biggest brands in the game. However, a lot of them really do look like ads, and that's where I'm not the biggest fan. So there's certain key points. If you are a small brand and you don't have a huge budget or a huge following, a lot of these ads might not work for you. I do want to preface that, right? You can get away with an ad that looks like this when you're Casper and people already know about your product and what you do. That's awesome. When nobody knows about you and you're just getting started with ads, you need to make ads that stand out and do something different, and really they don't look like an ad because people don't want to be sold to when they're on Facebook. Okay, so here's my little bit of notes here on the best image ads, right? So first of all, this is your little image ad right here. Now, when you're thinking of ads themselves, before we get into how we design those templates, we need to figure out our audience and what the goal of an ad is. So again, the goal of the ad is to sell the click, not the product or service. We're just trying to get people bought in and interested in order to click. And the best way to do that is to make a native ad. Now, a native ad, if you've never heard that term before, essentially means an ad that looks like any other post on your feed. So when you think about it, why are people on Facebook and Instagram in the first place? Why are they there? They want to see posts from their friends, their family. They want to see posts from people they follow. Overall, they want to see posts that are relevant to them, that they find enjoyable, related to their hobbies or interests, things like that. And that's what they want to see. Things that are interesting, that they can engage with, like, maybe get a laugh from, or entertain themselves, right? And so an ad is a direct break of that actual point in why they're there. Ads aren't entertaining usually. Ads don't make them laugh usually. Ads aren't from their friends and they're trying to get them to buy something, right? And so people usually have a negative experience with ads because they don't add any value. And so a native ad essentially is something that adds value in some way. And so some of the best ads you're going to see on Facebook and Instagram have a ton of comments, have a ton of people engaging, because it's almost like an organic post in terms of people are sharing it, showing it to their friends. They're getting other people interested in this product. They're liking it because they think it's so cool and interesting. That's what you want your ad to do. And you almost want to present it in a way that doesn't look like an ad. For example, one of our best performing clients and ads right now is from a client where we've tested so many different variations of creatives that were highly produced, with different headlines in the ad, with different text, with different little graphics and things like that. All things that kind of enhanced the appeal of the ad, made it more interesting. But what we found worked best was an ad that literally had no graphics, no images, was just the product in use in a normal, natural environment. And that worked better than anything else because it looked like somebody just posted it. It was taken with an iPhone, very simple, looks native. That's one of the biggest points to creating an effective ad, especially when you're not a big brand. If you're a big brand, like some of those budgets I showed you are larger brands, you can get away with it. When you're not a big brand, you need to look native. You need to look less professional, more like something that your ideal customer would post to get your ideal customer interested in engaging with your static ad. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now, next point is non-salesy and educate. So when you're creating your ad, again, people do not want to be sold to, but they are open to being educated. And like I said, people are there to get entertained mostly, but people are also there for education, and education is entertaining for a lot of people. And so if you can educate people on your product, people find that valuable. If they learn something new that they didn't know before, they are going to have a better experience with you. And so if they see your ad and they know it's an ad, however, there is a piece of it that's educating them on what your product does, how it's different, and how it's potentially more valuable, or even your industry in general. Say you're a weight loss product, if you can educate them on the best practices around how to lose stubborn belly fat around their stomach, and then your product somehow supports that, awesome. You educated them plus sold them on a product that can help them get to that desired goal. So non-salesy, think education, entertainment, not sales directly. And we're talking top of funnel ads here, right? Getting the most new people interested in your brand, not bottom of funnel where you can play around with direct sales messages. What really drives results for your business is top of funnel, getting people interested to know about your brand. And that's what we're talking about. Last thing is benefits. So if your product always revolves around benefits, right? You're going to have 1-2 key benefits, hopefully even just really one. That's your main benefit. That's the reason why people buy. If that's because it makes things, saves them time, amazing. If that's because it saves them money, amazing. Lean into that benefit. If that's because it makes them healthier, it makes them enjoy their life more, lean into that. Okay, so going back to CreativeOS here. Now you have so many different template options, and you can honestly sort through these again, but those are the key things I'm looking out for. So something like this is great where the person's hand is in the shot because it looks like somebody just took it with their iPhone, right? And that could be a great way to show off a product, is just something just like this. It's a great way because people stop and scroll because they think, hey, what's that? It's interesting. I've never seen something like that. Just someone holding it. It could be from one of their friends or something like that. You can see it has the benefits listed. This is a great way that's kind of like native mixed with benefits and mixed with sales, because it shows the main benefits while also being, again, more native looking. Now, a lot of these also are going to be, more very sales driven. You can see some of the biggest brands are here that have, right, the product and the benefits. You can see there's a lot of different ways to show the benefits and how to position your product. I like things like this that look like something they're familiar with, like their Notes app, but introducing your product into that Notes app. So it's kind of interesting because it's different, and that's what you want to think of. How can you be different? Something like this I don't really like. It just looks so salesy, and this is a promotion, obviously, and that's the only way that something like this would work, is if it's a promotion. Otherwise, it just looks so blatantly like an ad. It's not even funny, and the results are going to be even more atrocious than that ad looked. So let's keep it rolling here. You can see there's a ton of different variations right here. Again, what you want to look for is the style and theme that you want to have with something that doesn't look too overly produced and looks more natural. Like something like this I really do like. Transform ordinary meals. So it adds some value right here. Olive oil instantly leaves every bite, cold pressed, no filler, locally sourced, right? A little bit more salesy. I would have added more education right here, but again, interesting here because it kind of gets you to stop because of the Notes app feature right there. So again, a lot of these are going to be quite sales driven, but something like this I do really like. For Rise, where it kind of has the product position in the natural environment in the forest with some mushrooms, kind of looks like AI generated even. That could be interesting. And then it has the main benefit at the top right here: heal gut inflammation, natural energy, improve gut health, antioxidant, and digestion. Some of the main benefits there highlighted, which is going to be the best reason and the best way to actually get great results. Okay, so those are some different templates on benefit-driven ads, and these are highly, again, benefit oriented, and so these can work very, very well as kind of more middle of funnel. But if you are looking more top of funnel, you need to have something, again, stands out a little bit more with your benefits. It's not going to be something that scales if it's something generic with benefits like everybody else is doing. So your offer ads, these are going to be bottom of funnel, where you obviously just directly show your offer and tell them to buy now. This is not going to do well. It's not going to scale in general because it's not interesting enough. It doesn't have that education component unless your offer is just that good, right? And so then you have your discounts and deals. Again, the same point. Social proof is one of the best ads that I would recommend to create as well. We always have that in our mix of image ads. And so we would typically add this in right here, which has essentially results. So you can add in a review, one of your best reviews. This is the best way to run an ad as a part of your mix. It probably won't be the top one that really scales everything out, but it can be one within your campaign that gets some spend, that does some retargeting, and gets really great results. So you can see different ways to do this, but essentially you're just adding in one of your best reviews here with your product right here. Something like this is really interesting, kind of has a person on the actual ad looking at the actual camera or whatever. That can be a really great way to run an image ad because it hooks attention. One of the best ways to hook attention is with the actual face. So I'd recommend looking at setting up an ad that uses a face and ideally your product on it, especially with testimonials. These are what are going to perform best versus just your product. You want to include faces. Ideally, that's going to get the best results for testimonial ads. So recommend testing that out with your testimonials and social proof. So now the best image ad that you can run, honestly, is going to be a before and after, again, but making it look native. It's the best way to convey the main benefit of your product in a way that's the most visual, gets people interested, especially when they have a particular problem. So there's a ton of different examples right here of ads that you can use right here, where you can see before versus after using your Lumen products. It's like a face moisturizer, right? So that's a pretty funny one. Obviously not realistic results there, but you can see acne, no acne, very, very simple. Frizz versus no frizz, upset versus not upset, or a mess versus no mess. Something like this, honestly, that's the best way to convey your product. That's where we see the best results, is when we do a before and after, showing here's your product and here's the situation that you're in before, and here is where you are after our product, showing exactly what it does in the simplest way possible. And the reason why this is better than even some video ads is because if you look at this, right, a lot of products are simple enough to understand with just an image of before and after. And so if you create an entire 30-second video or 15-second video even, some people just prefer to look at an ad like this that shows them before and after, can really easily understand what it does. Then you could just have some supporting copywriting that essentially explains what the product does, how it works, what the price is, and a link to click, right? And so people can understand really quickly what it does. It hooks that curiosity and it invites them to then click on the ad and learn more, right? So let's take this as an example. Here's how I would go about actually creating this image ad. So I'm going to export this to Canva. Amazing. I'm going to use this template right here, which is why I recommend CreativeOS, because it makes this entire process super easy. You can see we have the model right here, and then here is the template. Awesome. So we have our after image, we have our before image. Okay. And then all that we need to do is go ahead and add in those different elements. Okay. So this is my after. Maybe it's me on the top of a mountain because I was scared. And then I don't have necessarily an image, but if this was my before, it's me scared at the bottom of a mountain, right? And maybe my product is how to actually, overcome your fear of snowboarding or a snowboarding school to get better. I could show me wiping out versus me, successfully snowboarding or something like that, right? And that's an example. You can just put here, #1 snowboard class, right? Or something like that. Super simple. And then all you would add is information that's intriguing about your actual snowboard class. So that would be one variation that you can go ahead and do. And for the copywriting, again, focus on educating, focus on the main benefits, and lay that out in a simple to understand format. I recommend using Claude, like an AI tool, and just essentially say, hey, this is my product, this is my target audience, here is the main benefits of my product. I'm looking to create ad copy and headlines for a Facebook ad, and then it will output all of those things for you, and you can filter it down. Pick the ones that sound the least salesy, the ones that sound very native. I usually like to start with how I, or something like that, or this product removed my snowboarding, suckingness, right? Essentially something like that. Super simple, but focus on the main problem and how that product overcame it for that particular person. Like it's a story, not like, hey, it's selling something. This snowboarding class, the number one snowboarding class, right? Everybody's heard that before, but if you have a story behind it, it piques that curiosity and interest, and people will want to click and engage on it. Okay, so that's what I would do. As far as image ads go, right? I'd look to make mostly before and after images, okay? Adding in some features and benefits, and also just testing the product in use without any of this fancy editing as well. Just a native product shot with an iPhone in use, plus, you can add in the more professional stuff too, but just the product in use. Honestly, sometimes that can be enough with well-written ad copy to perform great, and you can go ahead and test a ton of ad copy with those images. Ultimately, you're looking to see a really strong click-through rate above 2 to 3%. That will indicate to you that that is a winning ad. All right, and one more thing that I do really like to also test is meme ads. These are ads that are pretty much designed to entertain. People love memes, honestly. And so if you can use some of these different meme templates or find trending memes that are currently, blowing up and people are joking about all the time, figure out a way to make your product a part of that meme, incorporate it in some way, and that will do insanely well for you. If you can make people laugh, people will want to comment, engage. People will also naturally share that, and people will click a lot more because Facebook is going to serve that ad for much cheaper CPMs. It's going to get a lot more exposure for a lot cheaper, and as a result, a lot more results, okay? And so memes are a great way to do that. You can see a ton of meme templates here, and so you can see how you could easily plug in your product right here. And I honestly just love this format as well, and so I'd recommend testing this too for your product. Again, memes, you're trying to sell the click and get the attention. The first part of your ad is trying to sell people to stop and watch your ad. The second part of the ad is trying to sell the click once you have the attention. So memes do a great job of getting the attention, and then the copywriting and your actual product and what it does actually sells the click so that the right people are clicking over from your ad to your website. So that's the super simple way that I make image ads that can scale past $10,000 per day. If you want more help on this, I'm gonna have some other videos on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And also, YouTube thinks you're really gonna like this video, so I'd recommend checking that out next.